Okay.
So this,
New South Wales.
so it says 10:15.
Yeah, well, it's 10:15.
Oh yeah, yeah. There it is. Yeah. So there's a major semi-final and a so there's a mini semi-final, is it?
Yeah, this is a minor semi.
ACT New South Wales, ACT New South Wales.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Action Indoor Sports Salisbury here in South Australia for the final series of the 2019 Australian Masters Indoor Cricket Championships. I'm Cameron Walter alongside the Gary Lowe Show. Lowie, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Cam. How are you this morning?
Very well. We've got the over 45s minor semi-final now between the Australian Capital Territory and New South Wales. Why don't you run us through the two sides?
It is my absolute pleasure to do so. For New South Wales, the captain, number 5, Jason Hardy, Dean Kilgour, Peter Bairstow, Craig Balden, Gavin Marr, Stephen Simons, Carl Bathurst and Scott Payne is the New South Wales side. These players are coached
He's a lot straighter that time, but short enough that Hardy can put it for 2 over cover point. The safe down-up shot. Oh, it's a good Yorker length delivery. Well kept out there. Probably a little too full, but these early stages of the innings, I suspect New South Wales are happy to respect those balls. They don't need to do anything too aggressive yet. Shorter delivery again. See there, Lowie, the shorter Phillips gets, the easier it is for New South Wales to put him away square either side of the wicket for 2.
Yeah, and also being able to get on top of that ball much easier as well with the shorter pitch delivery. Hitting it hard into the concrete, getting it up into the springs and removing away the possibility for the fielders to get to that ball as this delivery comes down with 2 deliveries remaining. Fumble, people panic.
Yeah, a bit of everything in that ball. New South Wales weren't really interested in the run, but ACT really almost fumbled it into a run.
They didn't look too interested in fielding it, but it was all right. No lives were lost. 13 is the score for New South Wales. That's a very handy indoor cricket shot from the captain.
Yeah, again, just a little too short there from Rod Phillips. They get 8 runs off the over and move the score to a handy 15. Score of on track for a score of 30, which is a very good opening partnership in 6-ball over indoor cricket, Lowie.
Yeah, you'd certainly say that. There's no doubt about it. This New South Wales outfit is averaging around about 92 runs in this national championships, 91.56 to be exact. But we'll
got to be precise.
Yeah,
got to be precise.
I do love me. I'm a bit of a nerd. I do love my numbers. The last 3 games, their average has been 88.6. So going from that, it's quite a tight cluster. You'd imagine their score is going to be somewhere around that 90s, which 6-ball overs in this type of division, that would be about par, I'd imagine at least, an 85 or a 90.
Here's Rod May. Well played there. A little cut shot through forward of point there by Hardy. the New South Wales skipper. Rod May carrying an injury into this tournament. You may have seen him on your screens while in the field wearing a brace. He's actually got a fracture, which makes life interesting.
Yeah,
but here he is, tough character, Rod May.
Yeah, the athletes at these Masters National Championships, they're seasoned campaigners. This isn't their first week of indoor cricket, we can assure you. Not their first rodeo. They know how to manage their bodies and how to look after themselves. As we see another really good Yorker length delivery, I think that will be a third ball opportunity created, and it is.
Yeah, crucial moment here in the early stages of the game. It's been a little bit too easy for New South Wales at the moment. Can the ACT capitalise on this third ball scenario? Here's Rod May. Good delivery, just fended straight and a misfield off his own bowling. Rod May turns a single into 3 runs.
Yeah, he'll be absolutely livid with himself as he walks back to the commentary box here, and he's slightly filthy. You know, you've worked, as we talked about earlier, you worked hard to get those 2-dot balls. You get the third ball, not only that, you spill your lollies and it goes into the 3 net. It's a soul breaker.
Well, spilling your lollies, you can't have that.
No, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid.
One to come as signalled by the umpire, Andrew Parker. Standing in a final here. It's always an achievement for the umpires. Here's Rod May, final ball. Fended at the call of no, sent back is the New South Wales skipper. A tidy over there from Rod May. 4-dot balls bowled out of the 6, but a costly 3 runs in the middle there on third ball. They still get away with 5 to New South Wales, but will start the final over once again on third ball and have to contend with Alex Kwong.
And look, that third ball conversion's a really, really important factor in indoor cricket as well. You know, you'll see teams that can create that pressure, but converting it is also equally as vital. And you'd really like to see them, you know, 3 third ball opportunities. You'd like to grab at least one of them, and I'm sure that Alex Kwong's going to be very keen to do that. 20 is the New South Wales total.
Finds the edge, it hits the back net and falls out of reach of Marty Bennett, who flicks it back to the stumps, but New South Wales are home. And I think the flip side of what you're talking about, Lowy, is the onus on the batsman to safely see off those third ball scenarios. They've done it 3 times, batting well, New South Wales.
Yeah, very fair comment. They've navigated. That's a wonderful delivery. Hasn't that come off the pitch? Pitch has obviously been rolled and watered early this morning as the covers came off. That's hit a crack and come in an absolute gem.
Wrong game, Lowy.
That was, oh yes, of course, indoor. My apologies.
He's Kwongi. And 2 great deliveries and once again third ball. What I really like about this for New South Wales is they've really been respecting those good deliveries. They haven't looked rushed or pressured. If they can safely see this off, they'll be really happy with this beginning. Fended straight to the fielder, a misfield, and they get away with one there, New South Wales. And that's a sign, Lowy, of what it does when a team continually repels your attack. Things just don't go your way in the field. You get a little sloppy, the ball doesn't go to hand, and the batsmen get away with more runs. 22 the total now with 2 balls remaining.
These two battages, nope, let's start that again. These 2 batters averaging 27 as a partnership. They're on 22 at the moment, so short of a 5 being scored. They're pretty much bang on target, and they're on their target for their team total of 88 or 91 thereabouts. So things coasting as per plan for New South Wales.
Final ball of the partnership. That one cutting away, and it's only a single, but a safe one. And New South Wales have posted 23 for their opening partnership. Very comfortable start given the 4 third ball situations they found themselves on. So credit to the New South Wales openers. That's exactly the start their side were looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your company. It is the over 45 men's minor semi-final here at the 2019 Australian Masters Indoor Cricket Championships. Here thanks to Burley Seacombe, the gold standard in indoor cricket balls, and our broadcast partner, Sportscast, doing a great job helping us bring you this tournament. Once again, I'm Cameron Walter alongside the Gary Lowe Show, and New South Wales have posted 23. Tell us about the new batsman, Lowy.
Yeah, this is Pete Bairstow, who's been playing for about 962 years. I feel like we've been calling his name for an awfully long time. And Craig Balden. Craig Balden, my apologies, averaging 14 runs and Pete Bairstow averaging 7. And that's a little bit unlike Pete. I'm sure he'd like to be getting those numbers a little bit higher. So 21, that's around about par total for this batting partnership.
Yeah, Preston Hart, former Australian men's player, now playing Masters. He's opening the bowling to this pair. Tough bowler for them to face first up. It's two great rocks to begin. And confusion. It was a little bit of a fumble, it looked like, but it is the first wicket. And will that get the ACT into the game? Just Craig Belden, just ball came off his legs and he set off and he ran, Lowy.
Yeah, and it was a really sharp bit of fielding. If my eyes are any good, that's Rod May down there who did the fielding. Yeah,
Rod May really sharp there in the front court most of the time, and he's proven this game will be no exception, and helps create the first wicket for the men from the capital. And here's Preston Hart continuing. Beats Bowden again. Great start here. I think, Lowy, the ACT would probably fancy themselves a bowling and fielding side, so they'll want to keep New South Wales to much less than their past score if they feel that they're in this game.
Yeah, the ACT will. They're not really conceding that many runs, and gee, I tell you what, he's right on the money. He's got it on a string here, does the captain, Preston Hart, as we see a third ball, the 5th third ball opportunity of this match. They're only conceding an average of around about the 80, but New South Wales are scoring around about the 90, so it's a bit of what happens when an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object as we'll watch this third ball.
Yeah, and that'll be out again. Wonderful bowling from Preston Hart. I don't think Basto realised that was third ball. He called no, Gary Lowe.
Yeah, and he has been called, adjudged out as third ball. He did come back to his non-strikers end, so some real basic fundamental errors there from the batters.
Isn't it funny, Lowe? It's a brand new pair. The first pair didn't succumb to any pressure at all. They sustained it all. Brand new pair coming in on the back of that, and they're -10 in the first over.
And Ken Walter, you picked it exactly right in the first batting partnership. Driven,
runs this time. They get through for 2, -8. A wonderful over from Preston Hart. Gary Lowe, go on, mate.
Yeah, as we were talking about, you were absolutely right in that first batting partnership. When things are going your way, things just tend to go to hand. Those little golden touches start coming into play. Then all of a sudden, you get in the second batting partnership here. You come out, your tails are up. The momentum's on your side. You've really taken the game by the scruff of the neck. Then all of a sudden, things start happening. You know, there's a lot more high fives. There's a lot more chirp out in the field. And as we know, indoor cricket is a heavily focused momentum game. If you've got momentum, and she's a cruel beast, mind you, she can turn on the dime with the slightest mistake. But if momentum's on your side, things start working well for you. And at the moment, New South Wales, 15 total, -8 for the second batting partnership.
Richard Osborne now will bowl the second over to the pair. Bowden back on strike. Oh, and another opportunity there. Bowden has faced every ball of this partnership so far. He's just struggling to get the ball away. It's a good start there from Osborne. Just dipped late, not right on the legs of Bowden. He is continuing. That one has gone the journey to the back net, and almost a run out from Preston Hart. That's what Craig Bowden needed. I think Lowy felt the ball on the bat and sent it right into the back court for 7 runs.
Yeah, and equally as it is important to respect the ball when it's a good delivery and block it out. If it's a poor one and you think you can put it to the back net, certainly well within your rights to do so as they move 2 onto the leg side.
Yeah, interesting that the second leg side field is very square and the first one's very straight. Again, driven. It's through the gap, though. Chance! The appeal's gone up. Preston Hart's not happy. I think he's claiming the ball's knocked the bail off. Very tough for us to see there. And if it's tough for us sitting right here, Lowy, I think it's just even more difficult for the umpire. Tight call. Fair enough, I think.
Yeah, it certainly would be. We're only about 4 metres away at eye level, and the umpire's another 15 or so up, 7 or so feet. Would have been
driven again. Fall safe.
Oh.
Preston Hart.
No. He would be absolutely livid. He was about 30 centimetres away from the stumps and he just could have put ball onto the bails.
Osborne continues. It's up. It's safe. Just out of reach of Bennett again, who slaps it back Gee, this over's got a little bit of everything, Lowy.
It does, but you know what? Opportunities are being created here by ACT, which is really, really pleasing. Sometimes it can be a soul destroyer when you go through and there's no opportunities, but there's heaps happening. Just need to stay focused. That's a really good set. I like that shot from Pete Bairstow. There was a whole bunch of chaos happening out there, and he's just gone, let's get things back on track. So they move to a total of 5 for this batting partnership. I think that's 7 that was hit. Yeah, the ball was there to be spanked to the back of the net, but it was also a bit of a, hey, we need to kind of get into these positives and get this score rocketing again. It was almost a bit of a feast and famine play there. There could have been -10, but it turns out they moved to +2. So it's a really interesting game so far, New South Wales on 28.
Yeah, I really like, well, I'm interested. I don't know if I like it yet, but I'm certainly interested by the tactics here from the ACT. The bowling, Pete Lovett now probably bowls a similar pace to what we just saw from Osborne. I think they fancy themselves against this side trying to drive them. They feel like that's going to create those opportunities that they need. But here's Pete Lovett to Bairstow. Chance at the top. Bowden is sent back and is home. Game right in the balance early. Teetering on the edge. Sudden death cricket, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Lovett. Driven over the hands of Lovett, and it's 5 runs. He got just enough elevation on that. Just hit the top net, but fell safely over the head of Pete Lovett and into the back net.
So the ACT have certainly been up doing their homework and putting some kind of strategy together as we watch this delivery come through. As it goes towards the back net, it will be 5. Chance for a run out, and yes, it is given. Umpire Andrew Parker says you are caught short.
Preston Hart doing the work there. He made no mistake this time, Lowy.
Craig Belden looks to the heavens and goes, oh, why couldn't he have missed like the other couple of times? But that's outstanding cricket. 10-run turnaround. No 5 runs given, but -5 comes off the score. That is a big, big play.
Well, you live by the sword and you die by the sword in indoor cricket, particularly when you're playing the back court. You've got to be quick.
And Ken Walter, just fix your eyes out there on Guy Randall as we watch that go into the 2 net. So on the offside, he's really quite square for Belden, who's at the strikers end now. But then when Bairstow's on, he really moves far across onto that net for the onside. So it's interesting to see that the strategies that are taking place here with the ACT, they've obviously got some plans in action, and they're working through it.
One's wide. Very tentative calling from New South Wales now, and that's a result of some of the run-outs and the third ball confusion. Possibly could have snuck a run in there, I think, Lowy.
Yeah, I think they could have got through quite comfortably, but quite conscious now that they are on 7 as a total. Last ball of the 7th over.
Bowden using his feet. The throw from Rod Phillips. It's safe and brings the over to an end. Another topsy-turvy over there in indoor cricket, and it's all happening. Be interested to see whether they persist with this strategy now. Guy Randall is going to bowl the 4th over. You talked about the tactics that the ACT are sort of deploying here. Got lots and lots of experience in this side, a number of players that have played either at the Australian level or the Australian Masters level. Just looking, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 players in this team that are at one stage of captain the ACT at the Masters level. So lots of leaders in this group. They know what they're doing. But they're coming up against a New South Wales side with, you know, similar amounts of experience and nous. It's certainly plenty of it at the Masters level, Lowy.
Yeah, and that's what's really outstanding about this level of cricket is that every player is a seasoned veteran. They've been around for a long time. They know all the little tips and the little tricks, and they know ways to slow down the game and get momentum in their way. And I think one of the greatest players, I mean, you might know quite well, Mr. Vin Bennett. He is the absolute master of controlling a game. He is the absolute master, and umpires get so bloody stroppy with him, but you can't get angry at him because he's doing nothing wrong. But he just controls the game so perfectly. And a lot of these Masters players have got that ability to be able to control the flow of the game.
You didn't just concede that umpires get stroppy, did you, Laurie?
But I can tell you, he's a lovely man, and I love him. He's done so much for indoor cricket. But you want to get cranky at him, but you can't because he's doing absolutely nothing wrong. It's all by the book.
Chance at the top end, the throws on the money, and more confusion from New South Wales. We see another wicket fall, and the ACT just staying right on top of these guys. Take a look here at the replay. It's a yes, no, and they're both in the middle of the pitch. And that's out on the replay, thanks to playcricket.com.au, where you can find your local centre. 3 balls remain now in the second partnership. ACT right on top of this pair. Will they try and hit their way out of it, Lowe? Driven to hands. The flick was on song, but Preston Hart had left the stumps. You've got to trust your sweeper.
Yes, you do. Sometimes it can be difficult. You want to run for that ball, but you just got to go, mate, I'm with you, I'm going to back you, and I'll stay over at the receiver's position, but unfortunately not on that occasion. 30 the total.
Chance for Preston Hart again. The flick is wide. Bastow is home. They move the partnership to 9. The total of 32 with a ball to come. Plenty of noise here in the venue. Everybody realising this is sudden death cricket. Tournament's on the line. Here's Randall. A little bit short and tucked away. A comfortable finish there from Baildon. They suffered 3 run-outs and a third ball in that pair, but plenty of back net shots has kept them positive and moved them to the partnership of 11. They've moved the score to 34. They won't be too pleased with the partnership, but will be happy with where they're sitting at the moment. Gary Lowe, 34 is not a bad place to be at the halfway stage.
Yeah, I think it's just slightly below par, but nothing getting a twist over at the moment. I think they'll be quite comfortable with it. I think there'll be a slight, not disappointment, it's probably not the right word, but they would have liked to have done more than 11 for that second batting partnership. I think Pete Bastow's not overly impressed with himself. These two teams were coming into this clash very, very close in terms of the way they finished on the competition ladder. The ACT finished on 37 competition points. The New South Wales side, 36. They both played 9 games, both won 5, both lost 5. And their points differential is only about 20 runs in it. So these two teams coming into it, it was really a bit of a toss of the coin, as we'll have Bennett continue in the 9th over. Yeah,
and a great start from him. His natural swing moving away from the left-hander. That was right on the money that time, and straight to Phillips at point. Simons is on strike. An interesting shot and a dot ball. They're on third ball straight away. Gavin Maher, his partner, at the other end. What do we know about them, Lowy, as they face third ball?
Yeah, they're averaging 23. Simon's averaging 13.5 by himself, and Gavin Maher 10.43.
Chance at the top, and that's a great piece of fielding from Alex Kwong. A desperate dive from Simons. I thought he was very close, but I think a bouncing bat might have kept him short of the mark. As you see there on the replay, thanks to playcricket.com.au, a great piece of work finally on third ball from the ACT.
Yeah, it was good to get that third ball conversion, and what I really liked from Alex Kwong was his presence of mind. He took that ball, he knew the third ball that the non-strike would be on his bike pretty quickly, so instead of getting it back to the wicketkeeper, he's turned and thrown it down to the receiver's end, because the striker had his concrete boots on as he played that ball back. So it's a really good presence of mind there from the front guard.
Bennett continuing after the fall of the wicket. That one behind the legs of Maher. Shorter delivery too. Maher playing the right shot, but in the end it moved too far and it was a leg side. Two fielders on the legs of Maher. See why from that previous delivery. And from that one as well. Great bowling here from Bennett. He's bowled 3 leg sides across his 1.5 overs so far, but also 6 dots. And of course that run out, so very tight bowling. He's got one more opportunity left in this game to try and create a wicket for his side. Maher is on strike and will face his third delivery. Oh, it's fallen to the keeper, who took the stump straight away. An aggressive call there from New South Wales. It was almost suicidal. The ball chopped down basically straight to the keeper, and a gift wicket to the ACT, and Bennett finishes with figures of 2 for -1.
Yeah, he's done extremely well there, has Marty Bennett, and the ball was just hit a little bit too hard into the concrete. It came up and hit the roof, which projected the ball back down a little bit faster. Sometimes if you hit it up and it doesn't hit the roof, you can get away with it.
Well, that's really put these guys under the pump now. -8 to start. What's the second successive pair that's been negative after the first over? It'll be interesting to see how these two can recover. Rod Phillips now will bowl his second over. Maher is on strike. Nice and full in at the legs. A little misfield, but it's another dot. You can see already these two far more tentative than the previous pair who managed to hit their way out with some power of the pressure. So can New South Wales use a different approach and have some more success? That one's full, and well, I talk about being a bit more tentative, but full toss gets sent into the back court, and well, I don't think that deserved to go anywhere other than that.
No, I absolutely agree with you, Rod Phillips. They're putting a package on, putting a bow on it, and sending it down full on the legs. Too easy. And look at them go again. That's a good bit of fielding, but not enough. 5 runs scored. Cameron Walter hasn't this game just changed in 2 deliveries?
It has, and that's absolutely a result of me calling them tentative. They've used their feet. No. Simons in particular used the feet there and sent it to the back court. Phillips, 10 runs off 2 balls. How can he respond? A little bit short, tucked away for 2, but already New South Wales back in the positives. It's almost a carbon copy of the last pair.
And you know what? Within 3 deliveries, we've seen 12 runs in 6 ball overs. That's almost 2 overs worth of batting that you've got there. You're going to look for about 24 or 25 in 3 deliveries. 2 runs, and they're going to come down again, and that gets to the 3 net. Oh, we'll wait and see what the umpire calls it. It is 3. I love that shot.
Yeah, that's a wonderful indoor cricket shot that was. He used his feet to get to the ball. Could easily have risked another back net shot, but instead played the ball a little bit earlier in his stroke. Nice down up 3. Max value in this over so far for New South Wales. Shorter delivery and tucked away for an easy 2. And Gary Lowe, 17 runs have come from that over, and all of a sudden New South Wales are back to 43.
Yeah, that's a juicy over for New South Wales, and they threw it. I'm not even going to say caution to the wind, because the shots that they did hit at the back net were there to be hit.
Yeah.
I think sometimes in indoor cricket, I mean, I'm a traditionalist. I love the old down up 2s, 12 runs off every over, you can do quite well. But I also like the school of thought, if the ball's there to be hit,
smash it.
It's there.
Yeah, smash it.
Go for the runs. There's a reason why indoor cricket we gave rules to hit the back of the net. You can get runs for it. So I don't mind that at all. And there was very little risk associated with the shots they played. So kudos to New South Wales. They've done really well there.
Yeah, look, I couldn't agree more with that, Lowy. You're on the money. The shots have been justified. It's up to ACT now to respond. They know that these guys can and will hit the right ball to the back. I've got Richard Osborne now again, off-pace bowler, dips late. What can he do? Tamar looks at wandering out of his crease, but again tucks it away behind square. Nice, safe, down up 2. Scoreboard continues to tick over for the New South Wales 45 side in the sudden death minus semi-final. Chance for Preston Hart. Two batsmen to the wrong end, and Preston Hart does the work. Knew that he had all the time in the world. He didn't try and take the top stumps. Instead, he went to the keeper in a direct hit. He has run out Mar at the striker's end. Great piece of work from Preston Hart, and turns it back in favour of the ACT. Yeah,
that's a gorgeous looking play too. I love how he's thrown it down in a direct hit too. Takes it completely out of the possibility for the batter to make his ground there. This game, it's a real arm wrestle to see who's going to take the game. Sometimes New South Wales are up, and sometimes ACT are. It's a ripping game of indoor cricket. I hope you're enjoying it at home. We are here, I can tell you that.
Look, what's interesting for me is that the vast majority of these wickets have actually come from New South Wales mistakes. Yes, the ACT have generated that by the pressure and the good deliveries, but New South Wales have given them these wickets. And often the difference between sides in finals is who doesn't do that, who can sustain the pressure and not come up with bad calls like that with 2 batsmen at one end or stopping on 3rd ball. So New South Wales have suffered a little bit from that early. That's not to say the ACT won't suffer the same fate.
Yeah, and they're the kind of things that as a team you can control. As we see him come down the pitch, it looks like it'll be 3. I'm sure it hit the tape or was towards the back net, and waiting for the umpire to make the decision, and it was 3. Good call. They're the things that you can control. You can control the communication with your non-striker. You can control that eye contact. You can control those decisions. Sometimes if you're out there batting and the fielders are just doing really, really well, you can't help good bowling. If you've been cleaned up, skittled, the stumps have been lit up.
Oh, he set it to the back again. Preston Hart! What an amazing catch! Does the job. He just tips it up into the air and turns a 7 into a -5. That's a crucial moment in the late stage of this batting pair. And here's the replay thanks to playcricket.com.au. You just see it, just gets a hand to it, turns around and safely scoops it up. What a wicket, Gary Lowe.
Yeah, baby. That's what we love to see. That's worth the price of admission, which, by the way, is free. If you're in Salisbury, South Australia, get down here and watch some outstanding indoor cricket. That is a massive turnaround. Could have quite easily gone for 7, and very tricky to read the trajectory off the top net as well. That is a difficult catch. Well done.
Yeah, pressure moment there. And how can New South Wales respond there? They're back to 6. A good tidy over here. Maybe they can get this partnership to 20. That's what they'd be aiming for. Oh, it's a dot ball. Well respected this time by Ma. And, well, it could go any way, Lowy.
Yeah, it is on a nice edge at the moment. This is going to be a very, very important over. The 12th over, the last over of this batting partnership.
Driven again, a chance for Randall. He flicks and he can't hit. And Ma just stopping a little bit short. All of these guys carrying some injuries, obviously impacting some of the game. I've got to tell you, Lowy, the minute I said these guys were tentative, they started running at it.
Yeah, they haven't
very
listened
moment.
to you. They haven't listened to you, mate.
Randall continuing. Simon's on strike. Chance at the top. Oh, he's gone to the wrong end, I think. Well, he went to go to the wrong end, but they end up getting a safe run. Still, New South Wales being slightly aggressive with the calling despite all the runouts. 3 to come in the partnership. The score on 43. Another 2 runs. Something Ma in particular has done well is that sort of down-up sweep shot, just on square. It's a safe shot.
Exactly right. It's a
You've
very
got to nail it.
shot. Yep. It's a very comfortable shot for him, and it is very safe. And indoor cricket, it's all about minimising that risk. And if you can take the fielders out of the equation, why not do so?
Chance at the keeper's end. A great piece of fielding again from Alex Kwong, and another wicket falls. The ACT are really staying on top of this partnership. As you have a look on the replay, once again, thanks to playcricket.com.au, Alex Kwong out of frame there on the right has done the work. Back to the safe hands of Pete Lovett, and another effective run out, 1 ball to come.
Yeah, and unfortunately at this standard of indoor cricket, those balls that are around the knee or ankle height, they're just going to be snapped up. You really do need to get it well up high into the springs, or at least above the player. Alex Kwong, he's an absolute giant of a man, and he was able just to get that far too easily.
Final ball now to the partnership. It's a chance again for Kwong. The flick is wide. The call was no anyway, and a great partnership there for the ACT. They just kept coming at New South Wales. 6 runs added by virtue of those 4 overs. The score has moved to 40. The game right in the balance here. New South Wales in desperate need of a good finish as Payne and Bathurst take the court. Thanks for your company, ladies and gentlemen, for the minor semi-final between the ACT and New South Wales in the 45 men's division. Gary Lowe, talk to us about these 2 batsmen, Carl Bathurst and Scott Payne.
Yeah, Carl Bathurst has had quite a comfortable tournament thus far. He's the second highest in terms of run average, averaging 14 for his side, and Scott Payne averaging 9.17. You know, if you're going to go by the stats and crystal ball a little bit, you might look at around 23. Let's add that to the equation. So if they got to a 63 team total, I think that would be absolutely bare minimum with what they'd be wanting to walk out of here with. 40, not enough. 63, yeah. That's something you can defend.
Yeah, definitely. That would be in their head, I'm sure, to get at least above 60.
Yep.
If the ACT can contain them to less than that, ooh, it's exciting times for them. Here's Preston Hart to start. Fended away well. There was some good movement there from Scott Payne. Just got into the right position to play that little fend there through the cover region. And gets his innings underway as Preston Hart will bowl now to Carl Bathurst for his first delivery. But Fuller there and respected by Bathurst. Preston Hart's first over, 2 for -8. Very effective in that second pair. And these 2 batsmen would have watched that happen, so we'll want to contain him and shut him out here. Captain coach of the ACT side, here he is continuing. And fended well. When they have that width, these 2 have just demonstrated how they can get into that position, get nice and high and push it through that cover point region. Yeah. Yet still at that sort of ankle height, but in the gap.
It's in some space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, if you can get it into that space, it does still remove the play, which is what those shots, those down-up shots, are designed to remove the fielders from the equation. And just by pushing it as that's hit into the 2 net on the leg side, even if it is down at that knee or ankle height, as you said, if it's into that space, it's still achieving the same thing. It's still removing the fielder from the equation. So although Bathurst isn't getting a great deal of bat backlift, I knew I had to say that slowly because I'd muck it up and I got it all right, bat backlift, it is more of a push. It did seem rather safe.
Yeah, a little bit straighter there. It's only the width that's allowed these guys to get away, whether it be outside off stump or short, as that last ball was to Payne. Bathurst faced a dot ball. They'd be very happy with this over so far. Can they shut Preston Hart out? Final delivery. And they can. That's a really good over from New South Wales. They've seen off the strike bowler for the ACT. 6 runs from the over. Preston Hart, though, finishing with figures of 2 for -2. Another fantastic contribution from him. I called Preston Hart the strike bowler. Rod Mays, another strike bowler for the ACT. Wicketless in his first over. He'll be keen to get amongst it here. And I think, though, New South Wales clearly in the right frame of mind from that first over. Really switched on. If they can put 3 more overs of that on, they will get past that 60-run mark, possibly higher.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at 6 off the first over. If they do that 4 times in a row, that's 24 runs. We were talking about an average of 23, and then they get to that 63 total. So at the moment, things are right where it needs to be. Alarm bells should really be ringing here for ACT as we'll watch this delivery.
Oh, it was full and wide. It was third ball. I missed the fact that it was third ball. And it was given out. It looks to me it was given out third ball. Let's just wait for... Yeah, he's given it out third ball. So he said that Carl Bathurst has stopped, or at least not continued. If that was a third ball out, should they not be changing ends?
Suppose if the batters have... Well, that's a bit of a curly old one there. I'm pretty sure that they should be swapping back. And, you know, if it is out of third ball, even if the batters cross, I don't think that makes any difference whatsoever.
I agree with you. Yeah, so for mine, Scott Payne should be facing this delivery, but we move on. And it's misfielded. It was going straight to Preston Hart. And look, I think we saw Preston Hart actually go down to the umpire and say these guys should be... it should be Payne on strike. So, Interesting call there. It looks, I can see the score sheet. It was given out third ball. The batsman didn't go back, but we continue. And Rod May has held onto the ball. Now,
talk to me, Cam. Yeah, okay.
It's an interesting situation there.
This will take a while to get through. Yep, go, mate.
Well, mate, you're the umpire. Why don't you talk us through the rule?
Yes, well, an unsuccessful man-cut attempt is 2 runs given to the batting pair. However, discretion needs to be utilised by the umpire, and that's one of those kind of grey areas. I think that was very fair that it was not an attempt of a man-cut. It was
he ran through. He ran through,
It was very much, hey, watch yourself. And to be fair, if he did attempt the man-cut, it would have been out, so he doesn't want to take that man-cut option. So I'm very comfortable with that. There, the zing bales light up, the stumps go crashing back, middle stump, Cam Walter.
Yeah, great delivery, that one coming back in. We've seen these two early get into the right position, but I think that, they've got nice and high to fend the ball down. They're trying to do the same thing. That ball just coming back into the body too much. And a crucial wicket there again. Rod May's coming up with the goods in this over. The third ball capitalisation by beating the bat, and now bowling, 2 to come. Straight into the legs, a chance at the top. He's bowling a great over here, isn't he? I don't think he was happy he didn't get a wicket in the first. He's turning it on for the second. And ACT right on top here.
I was going to discuss it in the first over of this batting partnership as well, talking about alarm bells for ACT with Bathurst, because he doesn't have a very big bat back lift and he is just pushing at it. I'd be bowling much more straighter to him because he's just padding it back. As you talked about, Cam Walter, he's trying to find that space in the field as you see a dot ball, and that's the end of that over. He's trying to find that space in the field if there's any width. So if you're bowling it straight to him, he's just going to paddle it back down the pitch. That means your fielders can get to it. So I'd be bowling much straighter, real stump to Bathurst, just trying to exploit that chink in the armour that he has.
Pete Lovett will bowl the penultimate over of the innings. Just trying to confirm he'll bowl the last. It will be Alex Kwong. So you would think New South Wales, if they're going to try and get out of this with some aggression, it'd be this over to do it. Pete Lovett off pace. which is my nice way of saying a slower bowler.
That's very, very politically correct.
I'm the most off-pace bowler in the universe, so I can get away with it. But here's Pete Lovett. And
he's shown a bit of intent there.
He has. He's pushed that one through. Look, if I were New South Wales, I honestly would just be eking out 10, 15 runs out of the next 2 overs. I wouldn't be trying to hit the back net. It hasn't worked for them so far in the game. Lovett continues. There's that movement again. These two use the crease a lot. They move around. And with the bowling of Pete Lovett, they have a little bit more time to do it. We're not seeing them go try and send stuff into the back net yet. I think that's the right approach.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you've just kind of got to consolidate. Not that they're consolidating a great deal. That's a good indoor cricket shot there. High into the springs. No way a fielder's getting to that one, I can assure you. Sometimes you just need to be able to go, okay, look, we've had a crack at something. It hasn't quite worked. We've got to have the maturity now to go, all right, let's just play some real sensible, safe indoor cricket and get up to that team total of 60.
It's a chance for Preston Hart. He's fumbled it.
He got to it. He did all the heavy lifting. Oh dear, he was running for it. He was watching it like a hawk. It got into their hands, and right at the last second, it's just bobbled out.
Yeah,
dear.
look. And I'd say something about the shot as well. I don't think they needed that shot.
No.
It's ended up coming up for them, but it was risky. It was a poor shot to the back net. Caught the side. It was a reasonably easy catch for Preston Hart. They're just fortunate that he fumbled it.
Yeah, I liked what they were doing prior to that, where they were just going to call it boring indoor cricket. If you want, the purists will say it's the traditional way to play. I enjoyed it. There was no need for that. That's a bit better. Into big Alex Kwong there. Nothing's getting past him. It was like an octopus with 10 tentacles, or 8 tentacles. Octo means 8, not 10. Just stopping that ball. Nothing was getting by him. Well. They must get to 60, in my opinion. They got to get to 60.
Well, look, with the exception of that backcourt shot that really could have blown up in their face in that over, that was the right approach from New South Wales.
100%.
Most of that was targeted at that front court side net. They were all safe. They took 11 runs from the over and have put themselves in a position where they can at least get to 60. And at the moment, that's now become a psychological barrier. The ACT, if they can keep them below 60, they will walk out of this court in pursuit of that total, feeling like they're right on top. Here's Kwong. It's well squeezed out there by Bathurst.
And that's what I like to see as well. Over 45 men. We're on the Friday, just before the finals, and he's still diving. He's still getting on his guts and making his ground. That's good. Bit of pride in his jersey. Well done, Bathurst.
Well, gee, that's a great delivery. And I tell you what else, it was just a great adjustment from Payne. You could see he was shaping up to sort of push that away on the onside, but saw the change-up, reacted well and blocked it away. That's good cricket. Yeah,
Alex Kwong's been getting a lot of movement off this pitch. He's been very difficult to navigate through.
Driven chance, is that up? Oh, it's just Alex Kwong saying he's lost it in the light. I thought for sure he was going to scoop that up. It's popped up in the air off Rod Phillips. New South Wales get away with one there. And 3 balls remain now in this New South Wales innings. The score has moved to 56. Kwong continuing. It's off the net, it's a single. New South Wales will be desperate not to concede another wicket here.
It would send you batty if that was what was to transpire. I'm absolutely sure that this will be the safest 2 shots they've ever played. No, it's not. It's spanked to the back of the net and it's deflected off the stumps, which is very, very tricky for the receiver. 5 runs, good outcome.
Well, look, I think like the shot in the 15th over, they didn't need to do that, and that was pure luck that hit the stump. So it's gone their way. They're riding their luck a little bit, but wow.
Fortune favours the bold sometimes.
Yeah. Final ball now. And a great finish.
Sending the night watchman.
Yeah, so they finish on 22 runs at a total of 62.
Oh, mate, we crystal balled that, didn't we?
Just about. The stats don't lie. And 62 runs, it's well below what New South Wales would have considered par, but they are in the game here. The ACT will be feeling like they're in the box seat to chase down 62, but anything can happen in indoor cricket, ladies and gentlemen. It is the minors semi-final in the over 45 men's division between the Australian Capital Territory and New South Wales. I'm Cameron Walter alongside Gary Lowe. Thank you for your company. We're here thanks to Burley Seacombe, the gold standard in indoor cricket ball, and our broadcast partner in Sportscast, coming to you from Action Indoor Sports Salisbury in South Australia. The winner of this match will take on the loser of the major semi-final, which will be between Victoria and Queensland. That game taking place right now as well. The score 59 in the final over for Victoria. So Queensland, who did finish on top of the ladder, looking good in that match. But Victoria, if they do end up losing that game, will have another bite at the cherry in the prelim final later on, Gary. 62 runs on the board for New South Wales. As we say, it's below par. Looking at the numbers, looking at the lineups, do you think the ACT... Well, first of all, can the ACT chase that down, or do New South Wales have it in them to defend that low total?
Well, if you want to make things super, super interesting, which I certainly do, and it's bang on, exactly on 62. The average score for the ACT in their last 3 games has been 62 runs.
There you go. I mean, I said earlier, they would have considered themselves a fielding side, so their aim was to keep New South Wales to something below their par. But that just proves that even something like 60 is around about that area where the ACT will score. So New South Wales will still feel like they're in with a show here. Yeah,
I mean, the ACT have averaged for the tournament proper 80, but, you know, it's been a long tournament thus far. And in the last 3 games, that's where they're currently at. That's what's happening. It wasn't what happened last week. It wasn't what happened on Monday. We're now at Friday. And they are averaging exactly on the button. I cannot make this up. It is exactly on 62. So we could be seeing a massive grandstand finish. I might take the opportunity to do a couple of shout-outs at the Cricket Australia Indoor Facebook page. There's one young man in Canberra called Benji Flores who is very happy to hear your dulcet tones over the airwaves again, Cameron Walter. He says to say hello, and he's glad to hear you back in the commentary box. And Brock James, you know him too, I guess.
Yeah, Brock Winkler, the player of the final. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for your company, ladies and gentlemen. You can watch us through Facebook, through YouTube, and indoor.cricket.com.au. Masters Indoor Cricket, it's for the older guys and girls, but it's still some quality indoor cricket. And if this is giving you the bug, if you may be a lapsed cricketer, first of all, tune in for the World Cup of Cricket that's happening, began last night with England's pretty convincing win over South Africa, and continues over the next 6 weeks, and hopefully Australia can defend their title as champions. Then the Masters World Cup will come up in a couple of months.
That'll be a big one.
Yeah, as will the Ashes, of course, but the Masters World Cup in South Africa, these players vying for a place in the Australian sides that head over there. Alex Kwong and Rod May are opening the batting for the ACT in pursuit of 62. Gavin Maher begins for New South Wales. That's a great start, that is. Probably like that type of ball to Gavin Maher would have been tucked away there. But
yeah, Gavin Maher bowling to himself.
That's right, but Alex Kwong just happened to, wear it, basically. Maher continues. Ooh, it's a yes-no call. Good piece of fielding there from Craig Belden. One of the 2 fielders on the leg side, and straight away the ACT are on third ball. New South Wales successfully negotiated 4 of these in their opening pair. Can the ACT do the same? Short, tucked away, chance to throw. Well, Hardy had the ball in hand straight away and just sort of flicked it back to the keeper wide of the stumps, and Rod May's able to get home. I feel like they got away with one there.
Oh, absolutely. The bowler's done very well there. Perfect strategy. 2 on the leg side. He's got it in that very awkward hip area, even slightly possibly a bit higher. Everything worked as per plan and just fell over at the last part of execution. Another chance here if there's a flick. Gee, this is sharp fielding here from New South Wales. And what's really interesting as well is Gavin Maher bowling. He hasn't taken the most wickets for his team, but he's conceded the least amount of runs in his side. Taking 7 wickets, but only conceding 6.43 runs every game. That is phenomenal when you're bowling.
There's a lot of dots in that, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of dots.
Yeah, it's dots and scrounge singles, and, well, you just saw on your screen there, Rod May wore that on his injured hand, and they're on third ball again. This is an example of that exact statistic you've just quoted. Gavin Maher hasn't got a wicket down the over, but it's ... Final ball. Can Rod May, with a wide stance, see this off? He's got to go, and he makes it. Just wore it on the body, so that was enough. Out of the reach of the keeper, and away they went. A brilliant start there from Gavin Maher. That is exactly the sort of over that New South Wales needed to begin this innings. The pressure is on the ACT early, but from their point of view, they've seen off Gavin Maher. I have a feeling that Maher's second over will play a crucial role as this match unfolds.
Yeah, and they'll be looking to utilise him at the right time, and that's part of the strategy that comes into cricket is, you've got eight people to choose from. You've got to put people in the right seats, You've got to put them in the right locations, and it's going to be very interesting to see when he bowls his. Scott Payne will be coming in to bowl the second over. And, that's a really, really good start there by New South Wales. They'll be very happy to off it.
Here's Payne to Rod May. It's leg side. That's obviously come out of the hand wrong. It was full and well wide.
And I tell you what, Gavin Maher, he's as strong as an ox. He looks in good nick, doesn't he, Gavin Maher, out there at second guard on the offside. He's, for over 45, he's in bloody good condition.
Oh, it's a good call there from Alex Kwong. It's called Rod May through. 2 runs. Just on Gavin Maher's over, for New South Wales to win this game, they actually don't need a ... 1 over out of him. They need a twofer.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that the ACT have managed to do by restricting New South Wales to 62. New South Wales will not win this game with dot balls. They need at least, I would think, 2 wickets a pair. It's a wonderful shot from Kwong, and that's an illustration of why you cannot put it there to him. Anything on or outside of his off stump is usually going to the wire on the offside. A comfortable shot, and they move to 10 with 2 balls remaining in the second over. Oh, it's a great call. Oh, I meant to say great ball, not great call, because the call was not great at all, and the first wicket falls.
Ah, dear.
It's come off the leg of Rod May, and I'm not even sure who made the call to run, but there was never a run there, and an easy wicket.
And quite right, definitely not a great call, that one. No, sir.
Well, back to 5 now with a ball. That's a wicket that New South Wales need. This is the pair. If they can keep this pair to less than 20, they'll feel like they're right in the game. That's another great delivery. Kwong trying to chop it down. This pair, between them, they've put on a lot of 30-run partnerships, so the ACT will be looking for them to do the same here. If New South Wales can keep them to less, as I say, they are well and truly in the game. Simons is going to bowl the third over with 5 runs on the board. Both Rod May and Kwong very experienced in the Australian sides. They'll need all of that experience now in this sudden death final. Here's Simons.
Nice bit of keeping there. I'm not sure if it went through the legs or if it just skipped down the leg side line, but very sharp. As we see another third ball opportunity, New South Wales with their tails up. There's a lot of chirp, there's a lot of chatter as they move 2 onto the leg side. Could be an indication of a ball in that awkward hip area on the legs. Good vision there, making sure that the non-striker has only got the 1 fielder to negotiate.
That's a great delivery again off the legs of Rod May. What I actually liked about the change there is Rod May waited until the second fielder was in place before then stepping away. And Alex Kwong moving over, just soaking up a bit more time. There's some of that control you alluded to earlier. Obviously not from Vinesh Bennett, but from another ACT player.
And Cameron Walter, you were talking about, how the wickets must be taken. It just can't be that ... 1. And wholeheartedly agree with you. Doing some quick maths on the fly, as that's another dot ball there. So with the run conceded average from the current 8 players, another third ball opportunity. The run conceded average from the 8 players on the court at the moment is 76 runs. So that's what this group of men generally leak. So if that's the case...
that's across this tournament?
No, that's across this tournament with these 8 players, these specific 8 players. So not just as a team generalisation, these specific 8 players, they're all up.
Final ball of the over, full and wide and safe.
They're all up. Run conceded average comes to 76.
Well, that's a very telling statistic. Be interested to see what the average scored is for the 8 ACT players, if you want to figure that one out. Gary Lowe.
I'll just have to take my shoes and socks off. I'll be back in 30 minutes.
Is that all about controlling the pace of the game as well, is it?
Yes.
That was certainly my favourite back as a player, was any time I needed to soak up some time was, oh, excuse me, umpire, my shoelace is untied.
Yes.
Well, it will be when I untie it.
Constantly, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, New South Wales doing a great job so far in this pair. Only 8 runs on the board. A crucial over now. It's Carl Bathurst bowling and Kwong on strike. It's straight back to the bowler, and it's another dot ball. Well, look, I talked about dots won't win them the game, but they're bowling a lot of them. So maybe it will. They're bowling that well so far in New South Wales against one of the ACT's strongest batting pairs. There's a safer shot, but, oh, gee. It's almost a run out. A good piece of work there in the front court. Created an opportunity there. It's full and driven straight back. Oh, no, it's confusion, and it's poor cricket all round, really. The shot was wrong. The throw to the stumps was unnecessary. The call was unnecessary. Then the throw to the non-striker stumps was wide. So not the best cricket on display there.
We'll delete that one from the highlight reel.
Yeah, here's Bathurst.
Good eye contact there between Kwong and May. That's good. The ball skittled around in the corner. Obviously, Kwong not following that with his eyes. Looks straight at his non-striker to look for some guidance. Good indoor cricket.
That's a wonderful shot. Just full enough, played late enough by Alex Kwong. A nice down up 2 off his legs. You love the feeling of those ones off your bat. Not that I hit many of them, but there it is. Final ball of the pair. One for a chance at the top. The flick. It's on line, but a fumble at the top. Gee, it's entirely possible that the ball's come off Basto there and hit the stumps, but there's no way that any umpire's giving that one out. So safe in the end, and a total of 15 on the board for the ACT. That's probably what they would consider to be below par for that first pair. So New South Wales have done a great job of keeping themselves in this sudden death semi-final here in the over 45 men's division again. Thanks for your company through indoor.cricket.com.au, YouTube and Facebook as we bring you this. And several of the finals from Action Indoor Sports Salisbury here in South Australia. If you're just joining us, I'm Cameron Walter alongside Gary Lowe. Certainly is our pleasure bringing you this game and all the games to follow it here in the final series at Indoor Masters Championships. Now, Preston Hart has taken the court with Rod Phillips. Crucial second pair here. Preston Hart's probably the danger man. He's not going to be shy of hitting a ball into the back court. He's the trump card for the ACT. New South Wales will need to contain him. Here's Kilgour. We're going with Kilgour?
Yes, Kilgour, yep. And you're quite right about Preston Hart. He's scored, well, he's the only player in the ACT outfit to score over 100 runs in their campaign to be national champions in 2019. 125 runs from his 8 games with a run average of 15.63. So he's absolutely head and shoulders above, and his strike rate also 130.21. So the deliveries that he does see, he does put them away. Doing some quick maths on the fly in terms of the run average for ACT, that has missed by an absolute whisker. I'll tell you what, folks at home, that is so awfully close to being bowled. The run average for the specific 8 players from ACT is 78. So the run average conceded by New South Wales is 76. The run average by the batters is 78. So it's all looking like it's going to be an awfully close game at the end of this one.
Yeah, look, it will. And, I mean, based on those statistics, pure statistics, you would think that makes the ACT the favourites to win this game. But if they do not, that's going to be an illustration of, oh, that'll be out.
That's terrible.
It's terrible running. Yeah, and it goes to exactly what I was about to say in that what will upset the norm is how batsmen, our bowlers, our fielders respond to the pressure of a sudden death final. I tell you what, that is just the 3rd time that Preston Hart's been out in this tournament, and that's come as a result of his partner.
Absolutely cooked on the barbecue.
It's what they call sizzle bento back in the ACT.
Sizzle bento.
Preston Hart responds with a 2, gets a score back to 0 with 1 ball to come in the 5th over. Game is on a knife's edge, and I feel like it'll stay there right until the last over. It's a better shot there from Rod Phillips. Corley, yes, head down and runs through and moves the score to 17. I think the one luxury that the ACT have got, well, I suppose they've got several luxuries chasing 62, but the one thing that they've got is they've got 11 overs left and not that many runs to get, and all they need to do is give the last pair an opportunity to win the game in the last over.
Yep.
That's all they need to do, and realistically, anything around 45-ish, obviously you'd love to be more like 50 or 60, but anything around there, they're in with a show in that last over.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be appreciative of something more than 45, but in terms of winning the game, as that looks like it's 2 runs there, in terms of winning the game, you're quite right. That's all you need to do is just give your last batting partnership a sniff. And if they're around the 45, that should be quite achievable. I think it's all about the 62s today as we look at the court next to us, Victoria and Queensland. Whoa, and he's thrown the kitchen sink at that almost. I'm only a little fella. That gust of wind almost knocked me off my seat back here in the commentary box. Victoria scored 62 against Queensland. New South Wales have scored 62 against the ACT. The ACT's average in the last 3 games is 62. I don't know, maybe might be the new lucky number for me. 62 seems to be happening quite often.
Well, how lucky it'll be will depend on whether the teams that scored it win the game or not, I guess. Belden bowling a good over here. Got a good leggy, good wrong in that one. He's dragged way down short. I think he's just trying to rip that one a little bit too much. He's dragged it down short and it's gone wide. As soon as, of course, I said that he was bowling a good over. 2 balls remain. Well done there from Rod Phillips. Had all the time in the world to play that shot. Importantly, though, Hardy, the New South Wales skipper, was leaping into the air. He knew the ball was coming, knew the shot that was coming. Rod Phillips played it into the gap. Final ball now from the Belden over. And it's off the pitch. So a couple of extras there and a couple of short ones. They get away with 10 runs from the over. Move their score now to 12. Looking a little bit healthier now for the ACT.
And that's all they're going to be wanting to try and do here as the ACT is, I think, the runs take care of itself, providing you're not leaking those wickets. I think that if they're just focusing on protecting their wicket, not getting out, they should realistically coast pretty well towards a 62 target without too much stress. But what happens in indoor cricket, as we all know, you lose that 5 runs, you've got to score another 5 runs to get back to that 0 again, and that's where things start getting a bit tricky. So if they can just go through and preserve their wicket as best they can, they'll go a long way to winning.
New South Wales skipper Jason Hardy now.
Oh, big appeal.
Left.
I tell you what, Cameron Walter, as an umpire, if you don't play that shot, even if it's going to be missing a little bit, I know a lot of umpies that'll gun them.
Yeah, well, look, to be fair, I'm not sure that one deserved a gunning. I think it was moving away, so it was coming back in at the stumps, but that's hit him on the legs as he's barely moved.
A little bit too harsh to give that one out.
Yeah, I would think so. Hardy with the theatrics, though. Maybe he's working on getting the next one given out. Call of no. Rod Phillips a little late to respond. You want to be careful. If that New South Wales get that ball back into those stumps quicker, he'll be in some trouble there. But it is 3rd ball now. It's up to Rod Phillips to see this out. Crucial moment in the game. Here's Hardy. Oh. How many times do we see it, Lowy? You bowl 2 full deliveries on the legs of the batsman, put him on 3rd ball, and then bowl something short and wide outside off stump. Why change what's put him on 3rd ball? Just bowl it again.
It's not quite right. Sometimes I guess it can be a matter of discipline and just not being able to get it in the spot that you wanted. And then look, he's right back on the money there. I'll bet you wish he did that one the ball previous to it. He's bowled 4 deliveries, 3 of them right in the spot, but unfortunately there weren't any consecutive deliveries for him to take that wicket, and that's one of the tricky things with our sport is you got to be consistent.
Chance at the keeper's end. Well, chance at both ends now. Confusion. Yes, no, yes, no. And great bowling from the New South Wales skipper. He's doing a great job for his side here. Once again, the ACT are on 3rd ball. Just little variations in what he's bowling, changing the pace and the line and length.
And that's good. It's keeping the batter guessing, keeping him on his toes. He's not sure what's happening. 3rd ball. Can they convert this one? Surely. No. Good
Preston
shot.
Hart had a good look at that previous delivery that almost created the run out, and that was a carbon copy of it, and he smacked it in the ground for a down up 2. but just 4 runs from the over. Not that the ACT need more than that, but it goes to what I was saying before. New South Wales need more than dots.
Yeah, they've got to take wickets. That's absolutely the key for them. You know, and that's what sport's all about, no matter what sport it is. You've got one team trying to defend and the other side trying to attack, and that's exactly what's happening here. ACT trying to cling on here, defending their wicket with everything they've got, but New South Wales, they are hungry. They are desperate to take a few wickets. They don't want their week to end, and it will end for them today, right now, in about 25 minutes' time if they don't win this match. So they are desperate, absolutely hungry as a dog, looking for that wicket.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things I like about sudden death cricket, particularly at the Masters level, is you've got all of these seasoned vets out here. They've played a lot of indoor cricket and cricket in all its forms. And you see how that pressure affects their game and what the desperation can bring as Bastow bowls to Preston Hart. Hits it straight to the fielder in the front court. So another dot ball. Preston Hart on just 4 runs, the leading run scorer for the ACT. Bastow continuing. That one's a leg side. He'll have that one re-bowled. Can't afford any of those in these final overs, can New South Wales? Preston Hart again, trying to play that down-up sweep. The ball too straight for that, and it's a dot ball. What can Bastow produce for New South Wales? 4 balls remain. That one, unlike the previous delivery, which was too straight, that line allowed Preston Hart to get that one away pretty easily. He takes another 2 runs and brings Rod Phillips back on a strike. Yeah,
Bastow just providing a little bit more width there, allowing Hart plenty of time to get across.
Happy with a dot there. 2 to come now. The pressure is on everybody here. Rod Phillips, see the steely look in his eyes. And ball goes down leg side. I think he was saying at the very beginning when we were talking about third ball, how much of a pressure release a leg side can be. You see the pressure on Rod Phillips there as he's taking strike, and that ball just goes down leg side, free 2 runs. You just
it's a beautiful luxury to have.
Relief.
Yeah, if you've got the bat in hand, you don't mind seeing that at all. It makes life much, much easier.
Another dot ball will be the final ball of the partnership. The score sits on 37, the pair on 22. ACT will just want to starve them out here with this delivery. And they're happy with another dot. They're conscious perhaps of what we've been discussing, Loey. Dots will not win the New South Wales side this game, and they move to 37 in pursuit of 62 to the ACT. It was pretty tentative in that pair. They gave away a wicket early to the ACT, but they've batted well to get to 22. They don't need to do too much more than that as Pete Lovett and Richard Osborne take the court for the ACT. Remind you again, ladies and gentlemen, it is the over 45 men's minor semi-final. And by minor, that means it's a 3rd versus the 4th placed side. It is sudden death. And I said this after his first over. I'll repeat it now. I have a feeling that Gavin Maher's second over will play an important role in this match. It will not do that if it's ... 1. If I'm New South Wales, I want a wicket, if not 2 or 3, out of this over.
And this is the real, I think, salient or important time to be bowling him, because these 2 batters out here, they're only averaging 11 runs as a batting partnership. So, although I'm not going to say that anyone's weak in a team, but this would be the weaker of the 4 batting pairs out there, I would say.
And New South Wales will know that,
Absolutely.
And they'll be targeting them.
Absolutely, they would know that.
That's exactly why Maher's there to begin with.
Yep.
And I suspect we'll see a fairly strong attack in the next 3 overs.
I think they're going to fire as much of the heavy artillery at this batting partnership as they can, particularly speaking to what you were saying, Cameron Walter, earlier on. New South Wales don't want to allow ACT the opportunity to win the game in that last 4 batting overs with any kind of great ease. They want to make it as difficult for that last 4 as they can, because the more amount of pressure that they can put on, the more wacky, crazy things happen. So I think we're going to see an absolute barrage here by New South Wales as we have 3rd ball.
And they get away. Well, I thought for sure Osborne was home. I am all the way up here, though, but That looked to me like he was home for all money, given out by Parker, who's got a better view of it, and that's the wicket New South Wales were looking for. Mara's gone ... Finally, the wicket.
He does get that breakthrough, and he's been absolutely on song here today. And you know, the umpire's right on top of that one, as I always say as well. If we were in a better position to adjudicate the game, the umpire would be sitting here instead of up in the stand.
Correct.
Does have the best seat, but you know, usually you do see that non-striker on their bike so fast, so you don't often see run-outs at the strikers then on a third ball.
And they are the first the first time that... Oh, I thought it had gone to the net. It hadn't. I was going to say that's the first time Mar's been hit for more than a single. But it is another single. 2 balls remain in the over. Can Mar produce another one for New South Wales? It's driven into the 3 net and love it. Again, these guys must have us in their ears or something. It's not only hit them, well, again, I've called it a run too many. I thought for sure that was 3. It is 2. 1 ball to come. Osborne on strike. It'll be Mar's final ball for the match. He moves Bowden, who's at the was basically at square leg, moves him slightly straighter. And a great ball to finish. 1 wicket coming from the over, -2. I asked for 2 or 3 from Gavin Mar. He gave us 1. So it's kept them in the hunt. They're in with a sniff, New South Wales.
Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor ordered if you're a New South Wales supporter. And of course, I know there's a lot of people watching at the Cricket Australia Indoor Facebook page. I think there was, the comment's been moved away from the feed now, but I think it was some family from Preston Hart who have been watching in. So the Hart family tuning in, watching their father play as we watch Kilgour is going to come into the attack. Thanks very much for your company on social media. If we get an opportunity, myself, Gary Lowe, or Cameron Walter sitting next to me with the cans on the head and the mic in the mouth, will certainly give you a shout out. This game is on a knife's edge. New South Wales 62, ACT 35.
It's a great start from Lovett, but gee, that was a great piece of fielding there. I think it was Hardy down in the front. A direct hit there, and Osborne would have been out. That's just get the sense from the skipper, the New South Wales skipper. He might be the wild card in this game. He could be the one that wins them this game. But Bowden doing the job there, and yes, no from the ACT batsman, and a crucial wicket falls. Like we saw New South Wales do, Lowy, they gifted a couple of wickets, and that really set them back. That wicket from Mar, that was earned. That was a great delivery there. That was just a gift wicket from the ACT.
Yeah, and the New South Wales players, they're right on top. We did talk about they'd be throwing the heavy artillery at this batting partnership. That's exactly what's happening. Everything going to hand quite well. Rob Nicholas on social media. New South Wales, Lover Smith, Ernest Lee, go New South Wales. They're coming here, the Blues. They're on their way. The march is continuing. This is going to come right down to the wire. Do not go anywhere. Pop out the popcorn. Get some lemonade in your hand or a nice drink. It is all happening here.
Beaten. Well, this is the pair that could change the game. New South Wales right on top at the moment. And the ACT, well, it looks to me the last pair are going to have to come in and score 20-something the way this is going. There's a single. Still, shouldn't get ahead of myself. There's plenty of time left in the pair. 13 deliveries, in fact. Lots of time, but New South Wales bowling plenty of dots and taking their opportunities so far.
And we talked about it when these two batters came out onto the court, that they do average 11, and they were the weaker of the 4 batting partnerships out there. And, you know, that's what happens when you do have a weaker pair and you put on some 4 real gun bowlers. You do tend to see this, and this is going to really test the moral fibre and the integrity of these ACT players, because that's when you see the true character of a player really revealed. When things are going well and you're winning by a big margin and everything's nice and easy, it's quite easy to play indoor cricket. But when things get tough and you've got to dig in, you've got to show a bit of resilience, that's when the true character is revealed. And I really love to see these two ACT players stand up here and struggle and fight their way back. I think if they can now get to 5 runs, that's a win from them for where they're currently situated.
Here's Payne, starts with the leg side. There's 5 and 5 overs and 5 balls remaining. Lowy, who's your money on?
Oh, darn you, Cam Walter.
I asked you first, didn't I? I had to get it in there.
You're an evil man.
Yeah.
Oh, can I get back to you in 3 deliveries? Can you let me mull on it for a second?
Oh, so you can see 3 more deliveries.
Yeah, I need to see 3 more. Give me 3 more, and I'll crystal ball it.
Yeah, look, I'll go out on a limb. My money's on New South Wales from here.
I like it.
I certainly from this pair, we know that they're averaging only 11. I'm just not sure we're seeing enough intent from the from the ACT batsmen at the moment to actually score the runs they need. And so these dots that New South Wales are bowling have now bowled 8 dot balls to this pair. They really are putting them in the box seat. Driven, and it's through. It's bounced over the hands of Basto, and once again, the players on the court have done the exact opposite of what I've just described. Not enough intent from these batters, and they've hit it into the back court. But like New South Wales did on a few occasions, Lowy, they absolutely rode their luck with that one.
Well, there's my 3rd ball, and I'm going to tip ACT from here.
Very good. Then nobody can complain about any bias on my part.
No.
I've tipped New South Wales.
That's right, you have.
Yeah, you've tipped the ACT. And the game well and truly in the balance. There's 1 ball remaining in the 11th over. The score now on 40 runs. Scott Payne bowling to Richard Osborne.
And look, I think that the last batting partnership for ACT, they're going to be coming out chasing. I'm going to imagine it's going to be something around 15 runs or thereabouts. And I just think that the quality of the batters that are due to come in next, I think they've got the ability to get the job done. So, I mean, we're obviously about to see very, very soon, so don't go anywhere, of course. But I think ACT, providing that there's no wicket in it. If there's a wicket in this final over, then the cat is super amongst the pigeons. But if they can get through this over unscathed, I don't care if they get even 2 runs. But they're at 3 at the moment. I said if they get to 5, I think that would be a win. So if they can just not get out, I think ACT will have their noses in front by a whisker.
Well, Simon's first over 4 dot balls and 3 runs from it. So, again, there's more of those dots. New South Wales can convert to that wicket you talked about. Well, look out. Oh, it's straight to the fielder. The chance at the top, and it's out. Pete Lovett run out at the top end, and off the first ball, the wicket falls, and New South Wales are putting 1 foot in the prelim final. Well, can they maintain the pressure?
That is exactly what they did not want to happen, the ACT team. All they had to do was try and get through this unscathed.
It was poor running, wasn't it?
It was. And I don't want to be overly critical, but it was.
I will be. I'm from Canberra. I can do it.
It was avoidable. You know, there's been a few of them like that, and he was just willing that one, begging. Oops, 7 overthrows. No, just mucking around. Doesn't happen in indoor cricket. You know, it's avoidable. They're the things that you have control over, you know, and to get out in that fashion, I don't mind if you get bowled. I don't mind if there's a really brilliant bit of fielding. That's sport. That's cricket. But if you can avoid it and you just muff it, it's a really bitter pill to swallow. Particularly with the circumstance of this game in which we find ourselves. It is critical at the moment.
Oh, it certainly is. And for mine, if New South Wales get another wicket in this final over, that's game. ACT need to keep this out in the next 3 deliveries. Hopefully, from their point of view, get to 40, take a little bit of that pressure off the final pair in this sudden death minus semi-final. Simon's bowling a great over so far. 2 dots, 2 runs, plus a run out with 2 to come. There's another chance at the top. The flick to the keeper's end, and it's out. That's twice from Payne. He did the work to the top end to run out Lovett. This time the slap straight at the keeper's end, and he's run out Richard Osborne. And there it is, box seat, New South Wales, Gary Lowe.
Yeah, look, things are getting a little bit more trickier, and I'm looking here at the 2 batters that are coming in for ACT. And they are very focused. They're very steely-eyed. They are in the zone. And it is getting tricky now. 30 is where they're at. The highest skin in this game thus far has been 23, so that kind of speaks to the advocacy that runs are pretty hard to come by today. If 23 is the highest and you've got to go there and hit 30, that's not where you want to be. Don't tell me another wicket.
It's close,
oh, no,
but it's safe.
He's home.
What a set of 4 overs from New South Wales, with the exception of 1 over that went for 7 runs, and that was courtesy of a slight misfield into the back net off the bat of Pete Lovett. Every over was negative. They've kept the pair to -5 and have taken control of this match. The final batting pair will need to score 31 runs to advance in this tournament. What a set of 4 it was, ladies and gentlemen, here at Action Indoor Sports Salisbury. It's the over 45 men's minor semi-final, the Australian Capital Territory on 32, with 4 overs remaining in pursuit of New South Wales 62. And the skipper for New South Wales, Jason Hardy, has the job of bowling the first over to the final pair. Hardy's previous over, ... 2. I've been saying for a little while, dots don't win them the game. They've taken the wickets now.
Yep, that's right.
Dots do win them the game here. Bennett on strike, leg side.
Exactly correct. Yep, they've done the heavy lifting. They've got those wickets in the bank now, and now they can get those dot balls and still get home. This batting partnership averaging 17, so going by the numbers, it means they might fall short. But of course, statistics don't take into play the current circumstance and environment that it's a national championships, it's a minor semi-final, and they need X amount of runs to win. So I'm not going to read, I love me numbers. I'm a bit of a numbers nerd, but I'm not going to read too much into 17 today. I think they're going to come very, very close. They're going to go north of 20, I know that.
Straight back to the receiver. This time, no run, unlike the previous pair, so dot ball.
And that's the thing as well. I mean, again, I don't want to be critical and take anything away from the third batting partnership. But Bennett and Randall, I think we're going to see a bit of a higher standard of communication between the two players. I don't think they'll be gifting New South Wales as many wickets.
See, ordinarily, I would say that a controlled, disciplined sort of approach here would be enough. But I think New South Wales are bowling too well.
Yes.
They will bowl too many dots for the ACT to get their way to this total with 2s. They will need some back net play here. It's just a question of when do they go. It's safely seen off third ball. Now 1 ball remains in the first over. They've moved to 6.
And also speaking to that, I think the ACT can probably afford 1 wicket at the most.
Even that's generous, I think.
I reckon if they get out once, they can still probably possibly get there. They get out twice, that is absolutely murder, she wrote. In my opinion, it's just my opinion.
Yeah, look, as that over comes to an end with another dot from Jason Hardy, he finishes with figures of none for 10, but gee, they were 2 well-bowled overs, and just at critical times as well. For mine, 1 wicket, and that's it. It's
1
game
wicket.
over. Yeah, I'm saying 1. Again, I have to be overly critical of the ACT being from the capital, of course, just to remove myself of all bias. But yeah, I think 1's enough for New South Wales at this point. Just 4, 5, 9, 11 dots in the first pair, 2, 6, 11 in the second pair, 3, 6, 10, 13 in the third pair, and 3 so far in this pair.
Oh, he hasn't
make
picked
that 4.
That's cut him in absolute half. And a wry smile as he looks to the heavens. Guy Randall, he was beaten. All ends up third ball opportunity. Cameron Walter.
Yeah, well, he knows that he's got the wrong one now, so he'll be in 2 minds here about what to do. This is third ball, Baildon to Randall. He's beaten, and the keeper fumbles it. It's still a run out, and there it is, another wicket force for New South Wales. They are doing the job here in defence of 62 in the minor semi-final. Well, the ACT, for mine, they've got to go now. They've got 20 balls left.
Yep.
That's bad maths. They've got 16 balls left in the match.
Yeah, they've definitely got to start looking at pushing here. They're on 1 run. That's not 1 run for this batting partnership. It's not enough. They're going to have to start taking some risks, and of course, when the risks begin to get exposed, the opportunity for wickets increases. So they're going to have to throw a little bit of caution to the wind in the next couple of deliveries.
It's full. Bennett goes at it, but doesn't use his feet. Well, it's been given out. Bennett thinks he's hit the ground. It's been given out caught. I didn't hear anything, but we've got a headset on.
We do.
It's either ground or ball, but as we keep saying, umpire Parker is much, much closer to the action. He's obviously heard a bit of wood there, and it's out. And, well, there are the 2 wickets that you said would seal the deal.
Yeah, I think that will be enough now to get New South Wales home. The good news for us watching is I think there could be some theatrics coming along.
Well, there's 7 of them. That one went a little bit straighter and fuller for Bennett, and he swatted it away for 7. Yeah. Well, we see a couple more of those to make us look like idiots for calling the game.
Yeah, there'll be quite a few. I think there's going to be plenty of fireworks coming.
Short, Oh, it's put it to the back court again. 3 runs. Oh, they're hanging in there, the ACT. I said that they can win the game if they're on 45 at the beginning of the last over. They may well be. It's a safe for 2. And, gee, the big difference for me, those last 3 deliveries, forget the score off them.
Yep.
That's really the first time we've seen the ball hit aggressively and out of the middle for, gee.
Right out of the screws,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think probably in 6 overs, 7 overs. And, well, it's given them the faintest of sniffs. It's only 23 runs, 2 overs. There's time to do it.
Yeah, and the tricky thing is you get those 2 wickets that were taken from them. That's obviously minus 10 runs. That juices 2 deliveries. I mean, kudos to them for hitting a 7 and a 3 to get those runs back immediately. But the thing is, they've cooked 4 deliveries and they're at 0. In 6 ball overs, there's not that much time. You know, if we're back in the old days where it was 8 ball overs, you know, that's not, I mean, it's not great, but, you know, there's a little bit more to play with. But you've now just cooked almost a whole over, struggling and fighting and taking risks to get back to 0. You know, as I said, they've got to continually go a little bit more back net here. Pete Bastow bowling. I reckon we're going to see a 5 somewhere along here very soon. It's got to be this over.
It's well played by Bennett. Bastow's first over went for 6, 4 of which came from leg sides. Everything else was dots or runs. So we've bowled a pretty tidy over. He's found the edge there at full safe. Gee, the ACT would love to be in the 50s at the end of this over. But only 4 balls remain. There'll have to be a back net shot in there.
You know, I can't even believe, I mean, I can believe it, but the total score was 62. It's 42 at the moment. You know, and we're talking about that they...
Sitting back, driven straight to the receiver. It's a dot, though.
Could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about them possibly hitting 20 runs off the last 2 deliveries when they've been 40, last 2 overs, sorry, when they've spent 14 overs getting to 42. But at the moment, that's just what you feel is possible.
Yeah.
Big delivery here, massive.
3rd ball, driven into the non-striker. So it's through for a single. I suspect it was going to be a single either way, but maybe a chance at the top. And I tell you what, Victoria are producing a pretty good effort there against Queensland. The last pair there needing 30-odd to win as well, and just lost a wicket off the last ball of the first over. So pressure on in that game. With 8 balls remaining in this game, ACT are on 43. A lovely shot for 2. They move to that 45 mark.
Yeah, you've crystal balled it very, very well. I kind of hope for you, Ken, that there is a dot ball. I like seeing it when it's on the money, so I'm praying for a dot ball here.
So leg sides. Nice tight delivery. You can see exactly what he was trying to do there, but he's just pushed it behind the legs of Randall, whose stance is basically on that leg sideline. And, well, 16 runs required from the final over now. And that would be, from memory, the 2nd highest amount of runs in a single over in the game. So, and look, against all momentum, really. They've clawed their way back in the last sort of 9 deliveries, but it's been all New South Wales in the last 2 pairs.
Yeah,
Carl Bathurst, the bowler.
I mean, we had it down, Cameron Walter, that if they had 1 wicket, that would be the end of them. I put them down at
2.
No wickets, I think, Cam, you actually said.
No, I said 1.
They could have 1, yep. You know, I said 2, and then that would probably be the end of them. But here they are, still fighting, still kicking. They're not going to die wondering. And, you know, that's that traditional ACT spirit that we always see from players from the territory.
Bathurst to Bennett. It's driven straight, and it's out! It's off the hands into the stumps. And there it is. A little bit of luck there. Bennett trying to go to the backcourt early. You could see that New South Wales had a slightly deeper field, and that's just gone straight to the bowler. And as luck would have it for New South Wales, deflected straight onto the stumps and perhaps the match-winning run out, Lowy.
And just like that, your national tournament comes to an end off a deflection off the hands onto the stumps. A week-long competition, all the training, all the effort, and it comes down to a stroke of luck, and that's not called leg side. And gee, New South Wales, they love it, and a good, healthy crowd as the other teams are coming in for the next games after this, and they're loving what they're seeing here. Grandstand finish, 4 deliveries remain. Need some 7s.
Straight to the bowler, another wicket falls, and New South Wales will advance. There are 3 deliveries remaining in the match, and the ACT know it's done. Bennett, what choice did he have? He had to go for it, didn't he, Lowy?
Yeah, that's exactly what he needed to do. Absolutely no choice whatsoever. You can't begrudge him for that. New South Wales have done outstandingly well to defend 62 here.
Well, 3 balls remain. What can the ACT do? They probably want to get this score looking a little healthier, even if they don't win the game. Well, it's a dot. And it's certainly game on in the major semi-final as well. Victoria also defending 62 and defending it pretty well so far. 36 is the score with 2 overs remaining. Chance at the top. Ball doesn't go to hand for Ma. And final ball now in the minor semi-final. Randell will face it. And here is Bathurst.
Just letting him have a bit of a free hit here, and he takes...
Oh, it's caught by Basto. What a way to finish. A screaming catch from the receiver at the back, and New South Wales have won the minor semi-final, defeating the ACT. Well, what a defence that was of 62 runs. An absolutely incredible performance from New South Wales, and all of it coming in the final 8 overs of that innings. They're deserved winners, and they'll advance now to the preliminary final here at the Australian Masters Indoor Cricket Championships. For the ACT, it's the end of the tournament. It's a great tournament that they've had. They couldn't get across the line today. New South Wales will take on the winner of Victoria and Queensland in the prelim. The loser of Victoria and Queensland in the prelim. That game will go down to the wire as well. Queensland needing 23 runs from the last 10 deliveries. Gary Lowe, this game though, what do you think? Where did the match turn? What are the critical moments in the game for you?
Yeah, it was that 3rd batting partnership for ACT where New South Wales really put their foot on the throat and they applied the blowtorch to the belly. I liked what they did. I believe it was Gavin Maher that bowled the first over of that 3rd batting partnership. And I liked the strategy that New South Wales had there. They knew that was it. In order to take the opportunity, and that's what happened there. The last batting partnership for ACT had to come out and hit 30, which was the most amount of runs that any partnership would have possibly got in the game. New South Wales were aware of that. They really attacked hard in that 3rd batting partnership. They kept him down to -5. Good tactics. The plans came off exactly as they wanted it to, and I thought that was absolutely where it was run and won. I mean, on the court next to us, we're talking about Victoria versus Queensland, and that's going to be a massive upset over there. Queensland in this over 45s men competition played 9 games. They've won every single one of their games, and their points differential is absolutely huge. They've got a difference of 387, so big stuff coming up for this 45 men's competition.
Certainly is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your company. Congratulations to New South Wales on their win today. Commiserations to the ACT, but what a fantastic example of indoor cricket at the Masters tournament we've just seen. Gary Lowe, thanks for your company.
My pleasure.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for yours. We'll see you again next time here at the Australian Masters Indoor Cricket Championships.